Good morning, everybody. Well, I'm tired of this back and forth. I think I'm going to leave. Call it an early weekend. I'm kidding. It has been really just running in place. I use the analogy walking on eggshells, and it seems that most just have this little interest until something else happens. What that something else is, we'll have to see. Um, the housing starts came out today, lower than the consensus. The jobless claims came out lower than the consensus. And those kind of things would kind of help the markets move up, you know, maybe, okay, there's going to be this, they're going to cut interest rates, but Fed says, no, we ain't cutting no interest rates. We got tariffs. We got da, 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 da. And so everyone is kind of like, I don't know, something's got to happen here. We have to have some movement one way or another. Um, the tariff thing, it's coming. It's 90 days. No one's getting off the hook. Another delay. I mean, it's ridiculous already. And so we look at the charts and it's like they're going nowhere. Almost everywhere you look, prices are trading in between this big bar from, um, earlier in the month. And that's where we're at, plain and simple. Pretty much no matter where we look, most things are just chopping back and forth. And I guess we just have to be careful not to fall asleep at our desks because that's when things will start to move. But so yesterday, the big news was NVIDIA and semiconductors. And then part of the theme, and I don't think it's going to happen today, but on the slide was prices need to claw back or else. And the thinking behind that is, look, markets got extended. You could have your favorite proprietary oscillator, magic indicator, whatever, to suggest, the market is oversold and it should bounce, yada, 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 yada. And other than the news that bounced it, it's going nowhere. So we wait. We have to wait. So prices are up a little bit today. Looking at semiconductors and other things. And we'll see how today unfolds. Uh, as we look at whatever, as we always do, we look to the left and we see a trading range, and prices are trading inside the middle of the trading range. That's pretty within a downtrend, that is. Caveat within a downtrend, you know, an intraday trading range on the 65-minute within a downtrend. So prices are just marking time here. Um, Good for credit spreads, you know, almost like the credit spreads are free money if you find the premium, because, now that the news is out of the way, and what's going to move the markets here other than, the algos and more jiggles? I don't see it. Anything else? Other than we get blindsided by some more news. But so semiconductors, we'll see how much they bounce or not. Um, yeah, financials, which the day before went nowhere yesterday. Uh, XLF, you know, into some minor resistance and began to roll over. Nothing of significance. They're up a little bit, this morning. Yeah, right, Alex. No volatility. I mean, Good Friday, holy days, yada yada. And so may just maybe a day of marking time again, and we'll see what unfolds, of course. Um, Energy, little tiny bit of strength, but gave that up. We'll take a look at crude oil. Um, Home builders, interest rates Actually, they held up relatively well considering how interest rates spiked higher last week, but not doing much of anything. What else we could look at? Retail sales doing nothing, so we have some transports, they led the way down, doing nothing. Biotech doing a lot of nothing. So don't fight it because it'll just, gold's doing that ripped. And so let's take a look around. Is it extended? Yeah, it's a bit extended, but it's kind of one of the only game in town, you know, but it's just moving pretty darn fast. Silver, maybe it's going to play some catch up. Would be worth watching to see if we can get a continuation pattern here. I would set an alert up here. You can take a look at, the silver ETFs and see if that can recover from there. Maybe get a measured move higher and play some catch up. That's a thought. And how many times do you think you have said, look to the left in my life? Obviously not enough, Mike. And I'll tell you why. Because you still got people putting them freaking indicators on the bottom of their chart doing this stupidity. So maybe if you start saying it and everyone else does, maybe people will wake up. I mean, my gosh, is this, I tell you, I think Trump should outlaw indicators. I'm kidding, of course. People are going to do what they do, but what a black hole. Anyway, don't get me started like you already did. But anyway, you livened up the pre-market here. So crude oil moving up a little bit toward minor resistance. And we've got interest rates down a titch, pulling back into what should be a buy area. Right? Just look at everything. Right? Power move up, pull back, hooking type pattern. Alex saying Trump has looked to the left all his life. Well, that's why he was married so many times, but I guess Melania put a leash on his neck. You stop doing that. Yeah, we're having some fun in this boring market. It's good. All right. So we'll see if this makes a turn. It's moving down a little bit. That should help put a floor under the markets. Maybe they bounce a little bit more. All right. Qs here, up a little bit inside of yesterday's range. IWM, inside yesterday's range, just marking time, going nowhere. And yeah, Dow futures are down. UNH, bad earnings, the highest priced stock in the Dow. So the Dow is moved by the largest amounts by the highest price stocks versus capitalization. And you might remember it's interesting how this news comes out. Do you remember the news on UNH a month ago? I'm waiting for the symbol to come up. I guess it's very active, so it's coming up here a little. Remember it gapped down? The government was going to investigate, right? It's pricing practices or something like that. And all of a sudden, nothing. So, whatever the government's doing, a lot of talks. I guess, I don't know. I'm a little, you know, taken back a little bit by the lack of things happening. Anyway, so now up, and almost back down to where it started from. So, I mean, what a terrible thing, right? For those that were buying, and all the way up, and now it's all evaporated. So If you owned it, earnings are coming out, it might have made sense to buy some protection. Options give options, as they say. Transports, a lot of nothingness. So it's the same everywhere. So spiders, SPX, and I'll hand it over to Dan. Don't forget the death cross. All right, we've got death crosses on spiders and Qs. Probably some others that'll be coming. And trading inside of yesterday's range. All right, a little just above yesterday's close. So things are tightening up. You remember a few days ago, it was like 360. So ranges are tightening up, which you can visually see, but we use this as a guide as to where prices might be able to go if things were to be sparked one way or another as a general guide. None of these strikes have been touched in a while. So nothing happened. Get close to them yesterday. And I would think nothing going to be touching them today either, but let's see how far they've tightened up. All right. 50 strikes. Okay. Well, you'll see as these get tighter and tighter, the risk increases of potentially getting hit because they don't have to move as far. Whereas when you get these gap mornings and the options get so inflated, 5110. So the bottom didn't move down as much as the top came down. So maybe that's a little bit more bearishness there. But anyway, resistance, support, take your pick somewhere during the day, somewhere in between this. Initially, what we like to do is wait for an initial move toward, which could be, well, it's open, it's going to be around here at the open, give or take. Maybe it moves up toward this unfilled gap where call spread maybe a little bit above this area, or maybe it moves down. So we'll just see how it unfolds. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. This is happy zero DTE day early with equity markets closed tomorrow. So we will be looking as always. The XX. The volatility, still is elevated relative to way the heck down here. I sure was, love this trade shorting VXX, volatility, ETFs, options, but we were hoping for the market to sell off some more to get this at least higher up here to the top of the range, if not even a new high. Why not? So markets are a mess. Yeah, it's going to be difficult here. I got ICE alarm. I don't know why. I don't see any prints. Spider. All right, so this waterfall happened with Powell talking at 1:30. D, that's 100% retracement, pre-market high. So if we hold, I have a bullish bias for the day for put spreads. Hurts. Look at this gap. Yesterday, MT Live, we did trading on the news, and this is one we got from exactly that. trading the news. The news just brings us to the chart. Then we see if we have a pattern. This was an activist investor, Ackman, I think, accumulating shares, pro gap breakout. I did not like it as a directional at the time with all this junk. And then see it went sideways all day, and I don't know what the afternoon news was. And that just exploded. But we sold the $3.50 puts naked. I mean, with that gap, what are the odds of this coming under 350? Of course it can happen, but all trades are based on probability. And then his cousin, we talked about how to trade. All right, so I'm reluctant to say play with cousins because then Sam's gonna get all friggin' aroused. No, Sam, you don't play with your cousins. You trade them. So Carr is a cousin to Hertz. I actually sold naked puts on this yesterday that went against me. And then I saw the afternoon explosion, but puts are really expensive here. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah. Somebody said 19 yesterday, and I asked that exact question. I'm like, is this new? That's a big stake. I wonder how many billion that is. I don't know their market cap. But I have Carr as a put spread watch. They're really juicy now that we got this correction bar. Anything under yesterday's low. It's extended on the 15, but let's watch a pullback. Greg mentioned oil up a little bit. I saw oil moving, looking at my sectors yesterday. So we did a lot of scanning in these stocks, and we put on a few put spreads. XOP was too spready, so we did XLE. We did the 77s way down here, so we're getting a gap up. We did oxycodone put spread. Looks fine. I personally also did C and Q. I got filled on this pullback. I got filled in the 26.5. I don't know. What did I do? Let me look. 27 puts I did. Alpha Romeo. I tried to sell puts, didn't get filled. That they're just too sloppy for a directional, but you see the turn. They're great for put spreads. So those were my oil ideas. If I have any others over here, I have a very small watch list. We're in Algin. Now this looks fantastic as an ad. Bottoming pattern, 1, 2, 3, going sideways above the 20. Lilly here is exploding on again, news. That's yesterday's subject. So good news, right? They got good progress on their weight loss. But gap's too big. What the hell am I going to do with that? But it's 0 DTE. This might fit into the exception. Might of bullish gap, but excessive. 30-minute low. I'll consider selling a call spread. I don't know what this DXF is. But bottoming pattern up here, 1233. That's a big move off this prior low, but daily has room. So I'll keep an eye on that. Let's go to earnings here. The disaster du jour, UNH. So this one's on my list of bearish gap, but excessive. So put spread idea. Whenever I fade these things, the bigger the gap, the better. So look, this thing was at 463. So it's already rallied $26. But that's okay. When we do these, I use the pre-market chart as part of my pattern. So if we retrace at the open here and get some type of control pullback, buy setup, retest, W bottom, something, some bullish pattern, I'll be looking to sell put spread under the lows, 0 DTE. And then, right, yesterday's subject, check the cousins. What cousins are going to get hurt? Look at CVS gapping down. Call spread idea now. If there's any juice at the 70s. And then, the Humana's nasty gap down. Actually, that might be a put spread idea also. I'm gonna put Humana here. Mo. Yeah, we'll see which one sets up. I need to check my TC. I forget the other ones. There is Oscar. Is he a direct competitor of them? Yeah, but no pattern. What's the other big one? Molina, Humana, UNH are the three big cats. All right, TSM, back to earnings here. Wow, that's a nice pre-market little buy setup. And look, this bar already took out this 15-minute resistance. So that's a put spread idea for today. Let's see what it does. I have UNH on the other computers. Let me put TSM here. So that semis should be bouncing not only with the broader market, but with that TSM. There you go. Look at that. That's a beautiful 15-minute chart. Gap breakout and a buy setup. That looks great. But SMHs here, and SMHs have typically, it's one of the, I think it's the best ETF for juice and tight spreads. I actually was surprised that NVIDIA is lagging. Look at NVIDIA. Look, already gave up the pre-market and is below yesterday's close. See that? Look at close right there. It's right at it or below. So that's relative weakness. Not to say I would short it, but I like SMH is better. I see XLF getting up here a little bit. AXP had earnings. I don't see any gaps, but if this, all right, so it says it's gapping up $1. Now, if it takes out yesterday's low, that's a call spread candidate. Schwab, nice pre-market 15 again. With a nice gap. So there's a bullish pattern, 0 DTE. All right, so I'm getting a couple nice patterns here. Let's see how they set up in the first 30 minutes. NMC 221, bearish gap, and that's power here, so no rush to do anything there. Bravo X-ray 132. I would like it better if it were gapping up a little higher, but that's still a watch. Gapping down 1610 and a bearish downtrend. You got a weekly Climo, but a nasty daily. I got no interest. TFC down, the pattern. DHI housing stock was down worse. Call spread idea. State Street call spread. Fit B, nothing. High band. These are all regional banks, nothing. SNA. That's the airport code for Orange County Airport, if you didn't know that, Alex. 310, no pattern. RF, put spread idea. Wow, a lot of regional banks here. No pattern. Key Bank, RTO Bank. It's a bullish gap over this, but it's running into a wall of resistance. No interest. Ally. It has to break out. It looks like it's opening flattish. BMI sell setup. I don't see any prints. Let's set an alarm at 182.50. Then it could be possible day trade short and a call spread. 182.50. Man. 42. Wow, that's a big old ugly gap. Let's put that in the category of big old gap, but let's see what it does. This one, Alex, I think this was the one that I said if it opened flat, short the low. I don't see any prints, but my minder says down 57 cents. So that's kind of a you know, a descending rectangle, whatever, triangle, bearish consolidation, breakdown. So that looks good. All right, those are all the earnings I had. Oh, Ozark, what did I say about him? I just opened a CD yesterday. Put spread idea, gapping up a little bit. See, gold and GDX have been on a tear. This is bearish 15 bearish call, 0 DTE call spread idea. GDX, same, both these. All right, so I've given you a lot of credit spread ideas already. If you who are option traders, if you can help me. I'll look right now, 53 GDX, why not? I doubt, there's going to be premium, and then, there's going to be spready. 3 cents by 16. So no interest there. All right, TSM bottom right. There's 0 pattern to buy on the daily. It's right there at resistance. Let me see if there's any juice at 150. And again, spreads are going to be crazy at the open. No, the spreads aren't as bad, but there's no juice. 16 by 24. So no interest there. This car that I mentioned, let me check. 67 or below. I don't like the 15-minute entry. Yeah, this thing was spready yesterday too. They're, for today, they're all 0 by 75. This guy's a jerk. Even next week. I mean, if you get filled though, good luck though. The $60 puts are 10 cents by 75. Good luck getting filled. So this guy doesn't want to play. Glancing at the fangs, but so that I'm gonna monitor. I still don't have any alarms going on. All right, Microsoft, a big fat 0. Apple, 0. Amazon, and when I say 0, I mean for day trade, swing trade, credit spread, At least as of right now, I see nothing. This one, this is the best of the four so far. Why? It's down 3 bars on support. Let me set an alarm at 5:08, and then that could be a 0 DTE. $5:08, but Qs are coming in though, so the weight is to the downside. I'll set it 5:07 just to give me a dollar heads up. Guggenheimer, no pattern, but put spread over 155 if there's any juice. Netflix coming in hard, no pattern. Tesla, no pattern. NVIDIA, no pattern. I got nothing here. You go. Oil again. Oil's at yesterday's high. ETFs. And as I say that, my XLE alarm just went off. Nice. If this were to close like this, it might be a directional for Monday. Ascending triangle, as Debbie calls it. But yeah, oil for the bulls side, I think is what you come, I did all the scanning yesterday, so it's your turn. You're here to learn, not to make me do all the work every day. So scan oil, stocks, ETFs. XOP has a bigger target. Yeah, IWM relative strength to the other horses. XOP, if you want to scan those stocks first. Yeah, just no pattern though, but there's no pattern. I'd rather XOP. XOP is a better pattern. OIH is a better pattern. Let me check puts on this for next week. Or even today, the 210s. Was there any juice? 50 by 95. Spready, but if you did it with the intent to roll if needed. All right, one. Man, they're too spready for next week. The 195s are a buck by 245. It's very nice juice, but spready. Man, I would be all over this if the spreads were tighter. You know what? I might do one naked. I'll be the guinea pig, see what I get filled on. So I will go to the 190s, 75 by 175. And I will go 155. And I will tell you if I get filled. Toss. With the market coming in, I'm not crazy about that. It's not only at this resistance, you got this resistance. I'm not crazy about a plan unless it went sideways a whole lot more. Our Oxy, we did naked puts yesterday. Let me see where those are. Oh no, we did put spread 37.34. All right, we're up. Not a whole lot, but we're up. And the XLE we're up. And I did CNQ myself. Oh, I'm up nicely in this one. All right, I'm gonna bid to close. I shorted the 27s yesterday. They're 15 by 30, so I'm gonna bid 20. I sold for 40, I think, so that'd be 50%. All right, order sent. Archer. Not bad. Excuse me, not bad. I'd like it better if it closed like this. And then looks like it can pop up to the 50. All right, TSM and SMHs are coming in, so they're not holding. What about this UNH? Doing nothing, but let me see how spready they are. Let's see, this is a little bit interesting. See how this is a topping tail under the open? But if you use the pre-market data, and if it does set up some type of a W bottom, it still would be okay. Now I prefer it to be over the open. Greg, the 4, just to give you a number, 445s are 75, and they're very liquid, 75 by 80. And now it just dropped to 40. Just dropped to 40. It was a 5-cent spread, which was amazingly tight. 450s right now are and that just widened. It was tight. It was $1 by $1.20. Now it's 80 by 130. All right, let's watch it. Here, I'm gonna get rid of TSM. What about Mo? Garbage. What about Humana? See if there's any juice. 250 or below. $0.15 by 115. You jerk. CVS. The 70s, I'd go out to next week. 8-9 cents naked. No, thank you. SMH still in the gap here. Let me see how juicy they are. Now you all know that I would take a sloppier pattern for 0 DTE than 7. There's no way I would do this one 7 days. But if it stabilizes right here, I'd consider the 190s or 66 by 71. 189s. So let me get this loaded up. XLE new high. We nailed that sector yesterday and today. Done. How many times did I say oil? And I haven't seen one single idea from you all. Not one. I pounded the table. Oil, 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 oil. And nothing. I think you all are already on Easter break. All right, SMH, just start thinking about it. 189, 183. 0 DTE is 44 right now, but there's no stabilization yet. Oh, I got out of my UA outputs. They went against me yesterday. Remember, I was going to give this to the subscribers, but then it went down too far, so I didn't give it. And then I had a nice open profit, and then it went against me again. But I just got out at 50% of profit right on that tiny little bounce. All right, so I'm gonna watch SMH, UNH. I'm in no hurry. Our XLE up alarm. We did the 77, 74. XLE. Midpoint is 28. We're not, we're up, but not as much as I thought. We're up about a third to profit. I was hoping more. We don't have many. We have 5 open trades is all. In the advisory, Elgin, Kava, we only have a 1/3 lot, but it needs to hold here. And then we got a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. CVX. It's not a clean void with this, but it's another put spread idea, yes. Or day trade. So day trade, 30-minute high. I do not like swinging patterns like that come down chaotically. But yes, put spread for sure. I would love the 0 DTE. 13 cents. There's a lot of juice for next week, Alex. Yeah, what's this pivot? 134. Uh, earnings 5.2, 133, $5 wide, 60 cents. Yeah, yeah, let's do it. The yeah. Let's see all this. What was the other one Greg mentioned? Curdo. Curdo. Yeah, I like Curdo better than that other one, A/B test. Curdo's better. Um, VV. Alex, I like this one better as a directional than Oxy because there's just one bar to deal with instead of that three up and down whip. All right, OBV. I would love a zero DTE 3350. There are no 3350s next week. If there's no weeklies and earnings 5.6. But I would do the 30s in the earnings. There, wow, a lot of juice. Let's do the 29s. Well, I don't know. That's too far away and nasty damage run daily weekly. So yeah, I like the pattern, but I don't like the weeklies don't exist. All right, UNH bottom right. That's no reversal. SMH as I mentioned. Finally got this reversal right there. So now the 190s might be okay. Not huge confidence. All right, thanks for looking though. I think you're the only one that looked there. So me pounding the table didn't work very well. But among, all my 26 charts, I know what it looked like yesterday. So I know it looked good. Thirty, 28. Yeah, the hourly Chevron looks fantastic, Alex. So yeah, this is just another oil trade just like yesterday. Oh, thanks, Sam. Let me write them down here. Chevron posted. Type these. Right, so incoming. Yeah, Oxy, we're in. Yeah, I like, yeah. This looks good for directional BP. Yeah, big old, uh, big old void. S, S. It's more of a put spread, similar to CDX. MPC, same put spread. SU, yeah. Possible directional to the 20. XOM, yes. Yeah, directional is fine on that too. Yeah, thanks, Sam. You came up with a couple good ones there. Yeah. Yeah. Baxter. Baxter is still lagging. So I know they're different sectors, but compare them to these that have already had a beautiful hourly breakout. All right, so um, I would like this one better, directional Monday over today's high, but it looks good. I'm kind of more favoring put spreads in these. I would do the 105s for today. 33 cents. Next week, I would have to go up to the 102s we can do. 102.98. We can do 41 cents. And we can add 3.2 million already. Hey, Tom, when did you say that oil data was? Is that today? All right, cool. Didn't want to jump in front of that. Actually, I'm just gonna call this a regular breakout. It's a daily breakout. The climb over really doesn't mean much anymore. That's what it was to me.